What is going on, guys? This is Steven coming at you from my mother's basement. Today we have a deck showcase for you. This one is really special. I kind of concocted this in my mind not that long ago, based off of some stuff that I saw in a Facebook group. We were talking about different ways to infinite combo a couple of cards. So I built this deck around that. The goal of the deck is to go infinite with Peregrin Took, Experimental Confectioner, and Mushroom Watchdogs. Experimental Confectioner is very interesting because it's every time you sacrifice a food token, you create a 1/1 black rat. And combined with Peregrine Took, if one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food token are created instead. So every time you sack a food, you make a rat. And then every time you make a rat, you make a food. So if you have a way to sacrifice one food, you go infinite. You make a food, sack it, make a rat, make a food, sack it, make a rat, and make food. And so you can continue this loop if there is a sack outlet for the food. And that is where Mushroom Watchdogs come in. So Mushroom Watchdog allows you to sacrifice food and then give it a +1/+1 counter, as well as vigilance until end of turn, which can be relevant in some situations. But the most important thing is that it's the sack outlet for our food, creating infinite rats, creating infinite food. Now, this deck, everything else around this deck is just kind of support for that. Elven Farsight allows us to skim through our deck to get to the combo faster. Snarling Gorehound is triggered by pretty much all of our creatures in the deck minus Sheoldred. And Sheoldred is just there for value. A-Orcish Bowmasters is there for value. The One Ring is there for value. It's card draw. Oh yeah, so Snarling Gorehound is triggered by pretty much every creature in the deck, which allows you to surveil and again get to that win con faster. We've got Bone Splinters. It's 1 mana removal, destroy target creature. Very relevant. We don't mind sacrificing creatures a lot of the time to the cost of this. It's just a 1 mana removal. It's solid. We have no problem sacking creatures in this deck. The goal is to basically just like put bodies out there to protect us until we can get to the combo and just keep filtering until we get to the combo and then get it out and go infinite. From there, a lot of the times you can win as soon as you go infinite, either just through combat damage on the following turn, with a big dog on the turn that you play it, if you played it before. And in situations where you can't win, which I have been in quite a few of those, you can be a scumbag. Again, we are in our mother's basement right now. Be a scumbag. You just sit there and go infinite and run the clock out. And, it refreshes every action you take. So you just sit there and you stall the clock, and eventually they'll get pissed and impatient and concede. And again, I know we're playing like a scumbag. It's fine. We're not on the other end of it. So then we have Diabolic Intent. Again, we don't care about sacrificing creatures that much. They're just bodies to get us to the goal. That allows us to search for any card. That'll help us get our piece. We've got Assemble the Team, which helps you look through the top third of your library for a card. It's great. It's in our colors. A lot of the times in that top third, you're going to be able to either get what you're looking for or get something that enables you to get what you're looking for. We've got Mintstrosity. It's a 3/1. When it dies, you create a food. Perfect. 2 mana, 2 drop. Perfect. 3 is enough damage to take out most bodies in the turns that we're playing. This usually goes infinite about turn 3, turn 4, usually turn 4, if you've assembled all of your pieces before then. So having a 3/1 on the board on turn 2, not bad. Not bad. That can chump block for anything that's going to be crazy, or a lot of the times you're just removing one of their pieces or swinging on them, pressuring them with a 3/1. I use it as a fodder for Bone Splinters a lot of the time because, again, it creates a food when it dies. I use it for a body to sack the Diabolic Intent because, again, it creates food when it dies. It's awesome. As far as ordering of like what order you want to play them in, typically if you have all the pieces in your hand from the start of the game, perfect. If you have like a perfect hand, this is what we're talking about. You're going to play Mushroom Watchdog on turn 2, and then you're going to play Peregrin Took, followed by Experimental Confectioner. Confectioner creates a food on ETB, and then Peregrin will allow you to create an additional food. So that's, like if you have the perfect hand, that's the best case scenario, that's what you do. Again, Sheoldred and the One Ring are in there as value pieces because a lot of the times if you just can't get the combo right away, you gotta hang in there and you gotta bear it. A-Orcish Bowmasters is another value piece that a lot of the times you can remove a 1/1 that's on the field, remove something with 1 toughness, ping your opponent to pressure them, especially if you're playing against a lot of card draw, because there's not a lot of card draw in this deck. It is mostly filtering and trying to get to specific win conditions. But yeah, once you have everything in place, you pop off, and it is crazy. If you can get like a Mintstrosity out soon, you can make a food token off of that, and then Peregrin, and then Experimental Confectioner makes 2, so then you're at 3, and then you've also got infinite card draw through Peregrin Took, which will also create 3 rats and then 3 foods at a time, and you're drawing a card every single time. Having the Snarling Gorehound out while you're going infinite kind of bogs it down, because every time you're creating a rat, you're also doing a surveil trigger. So that can, but you win. You win at that point if you're making infinite rats, so you don't really need to filter your deck anymore. You've already got all the pieces on the board that you want. So a lot of the times I'll just end up sacking the Snarling Gorehound, or I'll just swing with it every turn and hope that they block it. Because if you go infinite with those rats while you've got the Gorehound on the field, is very annoying. It is very annoying to have to click through that, and you're probably not going to run the clock out. You're just going to do your combo and hope that you can win. So be careful with playing the Gorehound. 9.9 times out of 10, it's phenomenal, especially if you can play that out turn 1. Amazing card. So that's it for the deck. Let's get into the games. Hope you enjoy.